So hello everybody, welcome to the Friday at 6 talk show, the best tech talk show in the whole wide world. Tonight we're broadcasting from the office of City Car. We're live from Berlin. And tonight, our first two guests, and give them a big applause, are Heiko Barnersoy of City Car and Jay Cousins, founder of Open Design City. And we're going to talk about the sharing economy. Nowadays, you see a lot of cars over the streets that are actually shared. We don't own them, we order them through our mobile phones. But what's the tech behind it, and are they truly contributing to a better world? And this is, of course, the first question for my guest of tonight. Heiko, is collaborative consumption, sharing your car in your model, truly contributing to a better world?
Yes.
Why?
Just think about the space cars take up nowadays in cities. Think about how congested cities are by the high density of people living there and bringing their cars into a city. So a car sharing service as we do it, the traditional car sharing, where the car returns to the spot where you rented it and picked it up, is set to replace 15 privately owned cars. So basically every car that we bring into a city takes out 15 other cars. Mm-hmm. That will help get free space in cities. That's how we contribute to it.
Yeah. Jay, is this something that you would say is true? Is this model contributing to a better world?
Well, I think we need to, it makes sense first I'd like to see the data. I'm always a very cynical individual with respect to most things, but I think also there's an opportunity, if you're looking at genuine collaborative consumption, if you're going to use those terms, this is actually more a renting model rather than a collaborative consumption model. So there are closer things which can actually have a further benefit for the environment. So if you take cars that are already produced and then you share the car that you own, so EasyCar, for example, which is part of EasyJet group, which I was quite surprised to find out about today, is doing a neighborhood car sharing system. So you can share your car with your neighbors. That way you don't have to produce a new car. And producing new cars damages the environment also. So I think if that's going to be the line of argument, then I think we really need to approach it from an educated standpoint and look at how really to maximize the benefit. Otherwise, it's just half-assed and a bit greenwashing, no offense. But I think you need to really, if you're going to do it properly.
Well, Heiko, you're not doing it properly.
I wouldn't go that far. No, I think that there's a good point in how do we use resources that we have today. But think about the cars, the peer-to-peer, the private car sharing models. They're mainly old cars. They're cars 10, 15 years old, people trying to quench out the last little coin that comes out of it. And they're basically environmentally unfriendly. So, of course, producing a new car takes up a lot of resources, but driving a new car, or not an old car, pollutes less. Yeah. So I think there's angles.
Why didn't you choose then, for example, for electricity cars? Because that would then be like more a modern car that's really fitted for the future.
You're definitely right. What we're trying to do, because when we analyzed the market of car sharing, we found out that the existing models are really complicated and really expensive. So what we're trying to do is to be as easy and be as cheap and affordable as possible to drag as much people as possible into the car sharing model, and to plant that thought of why should I own a car into their heads so deeply that the entire car sharing actually speeds up, and then all the other models will profit, we will profit, we will own less cars, there will be less cars produced.
But could you then give a definition of what you think is cheap?
We know what we think is affordable. So our model is based on €1 per hour and 20 cents per kilometer. I think that's a fair assumption. There are so many stats and figures out there what a car will cost. A private car is will only benefit you if you drive more than 15,000 kilometers a year. If you're below that, use a car sharing car, whether it's us or anyone else, but don't own a car.
Jay, what do you think about being cheap? Do you think that driving a car, or the model as how they are presenting, is that cheap, or is it expensive? What are your thoughts on that?
Well, I think we're looking at arbitrary values. It depends whether you're looking at cost or benefit to the environment or what you're really trying to do. I think you always have to make a personal analysis and also a personal judgment in what you're doing and what you're behaving. And I was having a conversation with a couple of friends about this today, like, does it make a difference? And one group was formerly car owners, and they were saying, well, it's good for me because I can access a car, and I made a decision not to get another car as a result. So I'm going to acknowledge that. But on the flip side, the other guy said, well, for me, I don't own a car, I wouldn't consider one, but now I'd consider taking a car as an alternative to a bike on occasion or what have you if I'm feeling particularly lazy. So one group is driving less and the other group is driving more. And also the cheapness factors into that. So the amount you actually drive, and when you make these economic decisions about the amount you would like to drive, this is also an aspect. And I think if you're going to make it linked to the environment, then really link it directly to carbon and not price and value, and then work backwards on the economic incentives.
Yeah. Can I make it a little bit personal? Because you founded Open Design Cities, also closely involved in Makers Lab. What influence does like the sharing economy, collaborative thinking, what part does it take in your life? How important is it for you?
It's critical. I mean, it got me to where I am at the moment, what I'm doing, and every aspect of my life. My house is built from tools which were shared with friends through Open Design City, and also through skills that I learned along the way, both on one hand learning and sharing myself, and on the other hand from them teaching for me. And before I started working in Cairo, I was also working as a part of a network, collaborating, bringing one another work, so sharing opportunities as well as everything else. So it's really very much at the core of my being, and it allows me to enjoy a better quality of life.
And how do you see it interact with the Berlin tech scene? Because this is a program about tech. Of course, being in the beta house, you come across a lot of tech startups. Do you see that more and more startups are really also influenced by this idea of sharing something, and also seeing tech as something that can enable a sharing economy?
Yeah, I think you're already seeing a number of tech startups. I mean, most notably Gidzy in terms of looking at sharing of knowledge, for example. But also, I can't remember the exact name of it, but there is a startup already also looking at sharing directly, like your resources and your belongings. Actually, there's a couple. So there was Friends, and then I know of at least 2 different startups in Berlin that are looking at this. I think the ideology that's coming through Berlin is informing the ideas that people are having and what they're creating more often than not. But also it gives them access, like Beta House is a co-working space. This is a shared space. So this is also shared space, shared resource, and shared opportunities. So that's already affecting the tech culture at the foundation.
Yeah. So Heiko, maybe a difficult question to answer, but if you had to make a decision about, okay, being profitable or stopping if it would hurt the environment, what would you do?
Find a way to solve the problem. There's always more than either or, so we would try to work around that. I think Beta House is a great example because I was fascinated by you saying you built a house, not knowing how to do it, not having the tools, and you managed to do so. Beta House is basically an agglomeration of people trying to help each other, to support each other. We're supporting people at Beta House. We have 2 cars at Beta House in our B2B program. People at Beta House can use them for free if they need them during business hours. And at night, when they no longer need it, they go back into our fleet for all the people to share. So I think there's always 2 sides to the medal. And if it really came to the point, we would try to find a solution.
Yeah, that's what you said at the beginning. But the reason I was asking is because you're VC backed, and we all know that VCs, also in this case, Mangrove Partners from Luxembourg, they want to see revenue after 6 or 7 years. So, I mean, if it was crowdsourced or, it was a bottom-up movement, you could say, okay, we can make our own decisions. But actually now, these are tech VCs who want to see their money. So this must be difficult for you.
I just answered the question before, how do we make our money? So the interesting thing is we do it that low budget and we still can manage to break even just on the rental. So I think it's not about the big margin, it's about the movement, it's about the educating the people, what I said in the beginning. It's about making car sharing a big societal need, actually. That's what it is about. Of course, they will try to get out their money. But by doing something good, by collaborating towards this movement, by trying to get rid of car ownership, I think we can do that.
Yeah, so you're trying to get the Germans out of their own car and getting into a shared car. That must be, because we're of course in Berlin, we're here in Germany, that must play like an important factor because, I mean, as I know the Germans, they love their cars.
Which is great because part of our model is to actually find private individuals to host our cars and to give them their own car. They can look after it. It will still be their car. So we still do have people who want to have a car and they basically can get that through our host system. And for all the others who just need the car on the rare occasion, whether it comes up because they have access or whether they replace their own car, that's what we do.
Jay, I mean, yeah, you're obviously not from Germany, right? Do you think that that Germans ultimately will all get into these shared cars?
I can't really pretend to know Germans that well after 4 years to be able to make these kind of predictions. And I think if I was to make such broad sweeping statements, it would bite me on the arse at some point in the future.
But it is still very small. Not only the sharing economy when it comes to the cars, but in general in Germany. Where do you see it going?
I think the sharing economy is something that people are going to have to increasingly get to grips with and become aware of due to the problem I call too much shit and too little bits. So basically, we have too much stuff, we have too much clutter occupying our space. So at some point, we have to start evaluating the value of the stuff around us and what we want access to. Mm-hmm. And on the other, we have not enough stuff to produce more stuff. We're running out of fuel, we're running out of mineral resource, we're running out of all of these different things. So we need to evaluate with an increasing population what we actually need and what we need 24/7 or what we just need access to. And we don't need to own what we want access to. So I think we are going to see this trend increase.
Yeah. Final question, Heiko. Citycar is going to expand, has already expanded to Munich, I believe, but will go to 3 more cities in Germany. What are the plans a little bit further down the road? So what are the goals for, let's say, like what you want to achieve end of 2014?
Basically what I said before, try to get as many people as possible, wherever, into car sharing cars. That's one of the reasons why we have to scale that fast.
At FridayatSix, we always try to get things a little bit more precise than that. So Jay started out by saying, I like metrics. So can you give us some data, like number of users, number of cities, number of hours that people pass in these shared cars?
So we are live in Berlin and in Hamburg. Next week we start in Munich. By the end of the year, we'll be in 6 cities in Germany, growing. Next year, we're going to be at least in 1 more country. By saying at least, it will most likely be at least 2. That's as specific as I can be.
Number of users?
As many as possible. No, seriously, each of the cars needs a good number of users around it. So if each of our cars replaces 15 privately owned cars, you can multiply that by people that don't replace their cars. So if we get 30, 40, 50 plus people per car, I think we're really doing a good job.
Okay. Give them a big applause. Jay and Heiko.
Thank you.
Thank you.
And this FridayatSix show would be nothing without people that want to pitch. And tonight we're having a pitcher that applied to us very soon. He said, I want to be definitely on the show. So can I get a big applause for our first pitcher of tonight? If he wants to be so polite to come forward and pitch. Get Off Time was supposed to pitch. Is there somebody who still dares to come forward now? I mean, you don't forget that easily, right? That you have to pitch. I'll pitch, I hear all around me. I'll pitch, I'll step forward. Yeah, so why don't you come forward and pitch? Yeah, sure. Be spontaneous. I try to be now.
The oldest man in the room coming forward to pitch.
Here's the microphone. Give it up for him. I mean,
I'm not prepared.
do you manage? Okay, there's the camera.
Prepared.
You're not prepared. That's the best
camera.
pitches ever. 1 minute. Go ahead.
1 minute, okay. So it's fitting that you're now in this thing with city cards about car sharing. I work for another company, it's called T-Dispatch. We do software for taxi companies, fleet management. Look in the camera, sorry. We do like fleet management and things like this. We have open source app, which we're very proud of, that we're very open source. So we give this app to companies, they can customize it themselves, they can put their branding on it, and basically they have what Uber offers or other fleet management and dispatch software offers for 20,000 euros. We offer that for free, they just have to find a developer. So we're very open source. I'm not prepared. I'm just happy to be here, and I haven't got any of my 2 free beers yet. So basically the only thing that I want to do on this microphone is ask, where do I get my free beers? I see a guy pointing that way, so as soon as my minute is over, that's the direction I'm heading in.
Okay, give him a big applause. Wow. Great. My next 2 guests on the show, the one is a VC and the other one is having his own travel app, Waymate, are already sitting at my table waiting to be interviewed. So I want to ask you one more time. Give it up for Masoud Kamali of West Tech Ventures and Max from Waymate. Thank you so much, guys, for being here.
Thank you.
You look both quite relaxed. Did you already have your couple of beers, or?
Well, I stopped drinking because you have to be careful if you're in startup ecosystem. Oh, okay, sorry, I thought I'm loud enough. So if you are in that ecosystem, which is startup here in Berlin, you have to be careful. You shouldn't drink too much, especially if you are CTO or CEO.
Okay. No, Maxime Noradi, I won't ask you to your drinking behavior and what your opinion is on that. I mean, you have a way too interesting product for that. You have a travel app, it's called Waymate. What's so special about Waymate?
Well, Waymate is basically bringing in different types of transportation. So airline, railway, bus, but also public transit. And, you know, those are very heterogeneous fields of transportation. And today, people don't just want to look for a flight or for a train. They travel with different modes. And we bring that on one platform, especially on the mobile device, and let you allow to choose all your options going from A to B.
Yeah, so simply said, I mean, it's not only you can choose for bus or for airplane or for train, actually you can combine them all.
Exactly, and it's pretty diverse. I mean, it's very different industries that we're looking at. You know, airline is a completely different industry than railway, buses. I mean, pretty new in Germany, and public transit, so it's pretty exciting. Yeah,
what I find most of the time is that because it's a B2C app, people think, oh, travel app, nice. But actually, you are a real tech company. You have a big team of taggies who are daily working on this big database with all these things. So what's your own tech background?
Exactly. My tech background is pretty basic, which is none. So we had the idea when the Icelandic volcano ashes came down. Hey, why isn't there an app that gives me all options going from A to B? That's when the idea was born. So we've pretty much become a big data company, as I said, because we're talking to so many diverse authorities that provide us with data.
Yeah, because, for example, you use the data of Deutsche Bahn.
Yeah, just
do
as
they
one
have
example.
open, accessible data for everybody to use?
No, unfortunately not. It's pretty tough to get the data, and actually it's one of our core competences. And actually, when you ask what's my job and my co-founder's job, that's pretty much what we do all day. We're out there getting the data from all those very different industries and bringing them basically to a company, and there we have a bunch of very talented tech guys that implement that into our platform and make it a great user experience.
Yeah, Masoud, you're not only an investor, but you founded yourself also a lot of companies. Actually, you're managing some of them yourself, like software and support, doing conferences, print magazines. And I saw in old videos you're already talking about a cross-media world in a time where And actually, some newspapers still do think that they can manage without having like a proper website or even a business model behind that. And they're, of course, also really struggling. So what's your opinion on, in what way tech is transforming actually our whole world?
Well, some years ago I had a talk and I said CIO for president. That means I think tech changes everything. So, I mean, don't look at the publisher, because publishers are very conservative and they change very late because they do everyday money, so they don't want to give the money away. So, and they wait till they have no way anymore, and then they stop their publishing. But in general, there is nothing in this world that you would say tomorrow would be able without having a technology, without software. As they say, software eats it all. So I mean, everywhere you will see that software. And I think we are now at the beginning. Let's speak in 10 years and you will see we have more application. We see tech everywhere around us, in everything what we do, in everything what we drink, in everything what we wear. And I'm sure you heard about Google Glass, and you know that is a start of something else in our life.
But you say publishers are most conservative.
That's true.
But you're yourself also some kind of publisher, right?
Well, it's a bit, I'm a publisher. I own a media company.
Are you also conservative?
Well, sometimes, yes, yeah. We are not that good in digital publishing as, for example, some other guys, because we are still good in something else. So that's definitely, we are not as good as a company without print magazine, without print books. Don't forget, we start a new magazine in the day which Financial Times Germany closed one magazine. We started a new closed their newspaper.
Because I also read that you invest heavily in face-to-face meetings, that you still think that this is not going to be replaced by some kind of technology.
I don't think so, because as you see, your business is also very nice because you bring the people together. We are human. We need to communicate and see face to face and speak and learn from each other. That's something we wouldn't
I mean, you've lived and worked all over the world. You've done a lot of different kind of investments. I think that you're also very ideological driven. I mean, you want to really contribute something to the world?
Well, I think we should contribute something, make the world smarter. That's what in every investment that we do, we check, does it help something in this world? And that's the reason why if something come like CT or CT car, and I will first think, okay, what do they want? What is the value they help to that loop that we see? And if they bring some value to that, what we do, we are going to support them.
But that is also a little bit general, because if I look at your latest investment that was published, so to say, it's Tap Ticket Broker. It's a platform for buying like last-minute cheap tickets. How is that, in heaven's name, going to make a better world?
Have you ever wanted to go to a concert, just you decided tonight I want to go out and I want to get a ticket and I don't want to pay $200 or €200? So that is the value. They bring the value to 40% of the ticket, which is to every show is not sold. They help you to get in with your friends and have fun.
Yeah, but they're not specialized in some kind of initiatives to actually make a better world. I mean, to be at a concert of a nice musician, that's not all, right, what there is?
Well, that is to make your life easier. That is smart. I mean, you have fun. You go to the concert of, what do you like? Which kind of music do you like? Let's say U2. Okay, blues. Okay, so you go to something. What is blues? Tell me. Just joking. Okay, you go to a concert of Madonna. I send you to Madonna.
I love Madonna. Great blues artist.
Okay, they make your life easier. You get a ticket at that evening. You want to go with some of your friends and you have fun.
I understand you. I do. So what are criteria for you when you invest in a company?
Okay, that's actually a really good question, because to be honest to you, I didn't care that much about ticket broker business model than the team. I met Florian 3 times at different events, and then I met
Florian
the team.
Kozak.
Florian Kozak, the company founder. And that was the reason that I loved the company, and then last week they had a warming party, and then I went there and they said, oh, here's my mom, that's my auntie. Look, you go to the company, they are so committed to the business. And he introduced his mom and his auntie, and they work there. And that is a kind of family business in tech world. Okay, what's nicer than this? And I was sure I did a good. I had a good decision.
if you want to get an investment of Westech Ventures, bring your mom to the pitch, right? Because this is really going to work. It's just an insider's tip that you have now. Maxime, working at Waymate means also tough competition. We have in Berlin Go Euro actually doing exactly the same thing, right?
Well, not quite. I think they missed the public transit part and they're not mobile yet. So, but I think it's good to have competition because if you don't have, you might be on a wrong track. So if another person has the idea to go in that direction, I think, well, then you're in the right area, aren't you? So I would be usually skeptical if there is no competitor.
Do you talk to them? Do you talk to them?
Well, I know who they are, but you know what? No, what should we talk about? I mean,
well, maybe, okay, how do you do it? And maybe exchange some best practices?
Well, that's our secret recipe, I'd like to say. That the method on how to acquire this amount of data is really our secret recipe. Okay. And we have so much on shelf. And that's the one part I don't want to disclose, how we get that.
Yeah. So soon you're moving to into a bigger office, but you got like something like 1.2 or 3 million euros in investment, and you've been around
pretty
for
well informed. My God,
1.5 years old, or so. You're running out of money, right? So when are you going to get this new investment?
Well, we're looking into investment this year, but we're not pretty offensive on blasting out how much money we have, because the more you blast about it and tell about it, the more others get attracted to the market. So we've kept it quite silent. But you know, it's going to be late this summer. We're going to do another finance round. Basically, it's almost closed.
It's almost closed. Okay. And can you reveal with whom?
No.
Okay, I thought so. And you're rightly so to not tell me. You shouldn't tell everything to journalists, right? So finally, if there was one thing that you could achieve in this world, like your biggest dream, Masoud, what would it be? What would really be your biggest dream ever?
Well, I'm a bit older than you, so to be honest, I don't have that big dream. I'm really happy and lucky. I don't have that big dream. But one thing that I want to make in Berlin, and I hope I can manage, I want at least to help 2 to 5 companies be 500 million company in this town, or maybe 100 to 500 million company, and find the people to buy them, so that will help the ecosystem. The biggest problem of Berlin is we have a lot of accelerator. We have just Microsoft announced they want to come to Berlin. Yeah. We don't want them. They shouldn't start. ProSieben and whatever. Stay at home. Just invest the money and buy the Berlin companies. That's what we need. We need a lot more exit. Is that right, guys, or not? What do you think? So they have to buy the companies. That's what we need here in Berlin. And I want to help that company to be that big, that they are able to buy the others. And I want to have a world full of millionaires in Berlin also.
And you're one of them then, right? Or
well, I serve that ecosystem.
Okay. Yeah. So what's your biggest dream now? I mean, what would be like totally sweep away you?
Dirk, it might sound a bit silly, but my dream is completely off startup. I'd really love to rent a club for one night and sing Frank Sinatra from morning till evening, or evening till morning rather. That's actually my biggest dream, to have that. It's really far away of any tech thing.
I'm sure that somebody can help you with fulfilling that dream.
It'll be awesome.
We will be working on that from tonight onwards. So give it up for Masoud and Max, ladies and gentlemen.
Thank you.
And before we are going to close this show, it's time for everybody actually to come up to the microphone and to announce their event or whatever they want to share with the audience here tonight. Maybe want to, introduce themselves so that everybody who maybe is also looking for a co-founder is coming to them before we go to the music, and we are going to turn this office of City Car in one big party. The first one that I want to ask to come forward is of Tech Bikers. And who's there from Tech Bikers? Please come forward. Give her an applause, ladies and gentlemen. Okay. Because Tech Bikers is an initiative that is perfectly fitted for this broadcast, because please explain us what Tech Bikers is planning to do this summer.
Okay. In fact, I'm Caroline, I'm from .hiv, and today it's my special mission to present at Tech Bikers Prague, Berlin here. Tech Bikers is a charity bike ride that connects the two startup scenes from Prague and Berlin. And if you have ever had the chance or ever had that moment thinking, oh boy, if that elevator pitch could have lasted for just one ride longer, then this is your chance. From July 26th to July 28th, there will be around 40 startup people riding bikes from Prague to Berlin.
That's a long way, right?
That's a long way, but you have 3 days to go, right?
Oh, 3 days, okay, very good.
And you will have the awesome opportunity to meet high-profile VCs and incubators there. People from the likes of Phi Bayer from Hubraum, or Uli Schmitz from Axel Springer Plug and Play, or invested in these rooms, Eugene Mitzin, principal of Mangrove Capital also.
Right.
So it's a huge opportunity to fundraise and also to get to know other startup comrades.
Yeah, and do you need to be trained, or I mean, how many hours per day do you bike?
Oh, but it's quite a long ride, so it's around 100 kilometers a day, but you don't have to be super fit because we have everything in place to guarantee your fun and comfort. There are team cars, so you can take a rest on the ride.
Yeah, massages?
Any sponsor for massages here? So there will be parties at night, and food is there, transport is there, accommodation is there.
So people can come up to you now and apply, or is it for everybody?
It's for everybody. If you want to know more, just come around, ask me about it. Go to techbikers.de and go to .hiv.org, because one very important thing about that ride, it's a charity bike ride. So all the bikers together will raise 35,000 euros in support of the most awesome tech charity in Berlin, which is .hiv. And you can check out the special cause behind the ride on .hiv.org.
Okay, and it's on the 26th of July, right?
26th to 28th.
Okay.
And yeah, so come and join. It will be a great fun ride, and everybody, I mean, if you ever have sweated in the saddle with your VC, like investment is not a problem anymore.
Give it up for Caroline. Okay, is there somebody else who wants to announce something, say something, confess something, bring their mother to the microphone? I mean, yeah, okay, please come forward.
I definitely have to announce the fact that there's going to be the Friday at 6 karaoke night with Derek Marseille singing,
I don't know anything about that.
Singing blues, and apparently Max is going to sing Frank Sinatra all night.
If you want to help us organize a karaoke night, please come forward after the show. Okay, the next one.
Hello. Hello. Hi. I'm Kevin from Navoda, and I just want to let everyone know that we've just came to Berlin, and Navoda have just opened an office in Mitte, and Navoda offer the world's foremost expertise for the Android platform. We develop applications such as Songkick, Podio, Meetup, and now we're looking for new clients, typically venture capital funded tech startups or OEMs. And also we are looking for, of course, the world's foremost expertise for the Android platform. So if you are the world's greatest Android developer and you have the heart for the craft and you care about quality, then you come and speak to me. I really want to talk to you, okay?
Okay, very well done. This is effective. Yeah. Okay.
Hello everybody, I'm David Nag and I'm the producer of the Pitch Marathon. Pitch Marathon is a serious and interactive startup competition. On July 31st, on one side we're going to have 42 top startups from all across Europe, and on the other side, lots of great investors. So, if you're looking to raise money in the next few months, this is the place to be. You can apply until July 7th on pitchmarathon.co.
Very well. And David Nagy, ladies and gentlemen, talk to this guy. If you want to pitch, talk to this guy. Okay, next one. Go ahead.
Hello, my name is Jens, and I wrote already about Pitch Marathon.
Okay.
So I've got two announcements. One is sofapitch.de. If you are a startup, you can pitch there. It's for free, or if you have a project, you just you upload your little movie up there, 1 minute, and so on, and you get more visibility. So sofapitch.de if you are a startup and like to be seen. Second thing is, I've got a company with my brother together in Cairo and Berlin. It's web development from Cairo. And in Cairo, they do not earn so much money. It's 150 euros a month. So not 600 a day like the developers do here, if they are friends. And so if you need a piece of software produced or an app or whatever, front end, back end, we can do it. You can ask me. heisenburg.com.
Really interesting. Yeah, I mean, help the people in Egypt. I mean, this is development work.
Do that.
Yeah, very good. Okay, we have room for one or two more before we have to close this show and go to the music. Yeah, okay. And you're the second one? Yeah, you're the last one then. Please come forward. Already be prepared. Okay. Can a musician already also come forward? Please. Go ahead.
Go ahead. Okay. Hi, Derek.
Hi.
Hi, guys. Hi, Berlin. I am Dani, just a software engineer working in Spain. And my idea was coming to Berlin for holidays, disconnect from tech, startups, and this stuff. But I don't know why I am giving a talk this week in Beta House in the next Beta Breakfast. I am speaking a little bit about robotics, crazy software ideas, yeah, some stuff. So you are everyone invited.
Thursday morning in Beta House.
Yeah,
during the
that's
breakfast.
Right.
Yeah, about robotics.
I will be there. Robotics, crazy ideas about projects. Yeah, I hope to see you there. Yeah, if you are interested in knowing something more, just come here. I am here. We can speak. Nice.
Thanks a lot. Thank you very much. So the last one.
Yeah, hi. So I'm Remco. I'm a motion designer, and I guess you all know like these introduction or explanatory animations that you have for like Dropbox, etc. And so if you would like one for your concept, your startup concept, come talk to me. I'm here probably for like half an hour. Or you can check my website out, which is Cluster. So it's KLUSTRE.nl. That's it.
Very well done. Our final man of the evening is Jonas. Jonas, go to the microphone and very shortly say something about Stackademy.
Sure, I will. It's a pre-announcement because we won't really announce it much more until Monday. We're organizing a 12-week intensive full-time programming course in Berlin. I've been working really a lot to make the course I would participate in myself. So we will teach web application development, mainly Rails, Ruby on Rails, but also everything else you need to know. So we'll start late September, open the applications next week. It's 6,900 for 12 weeks in total. So see me afterwards or check out stackademy.com. Thanks.
Thank you so much. Okay. And as a final part of this show, I want to ask the musician to come forward and to play a couple of songs. But first I want to ask you where you're from, sir.
I am from Buenos Aires, Argentina. Hello, everybody.
Hello.
Oh, my God. And I live here since 2011. Yeah, actually, my family is from here, and I was all walking around all Europe, but now I love Berlin, and I play here. Wow. I'm grateful for it.
Okay, I'm going to close the show, and then I'll give you all room to play as much songs as you want to, right?
Thank you.
Yeah, okay. So this was the Friday at 6 talk show. Next month, we're back. Please check out FridayatSix.com. Thank you for watching, and see you next month. Bye.